Hello, hello, hello. So, I know last week I said I was going to probably do the Jacarbon perfumed inks, but then it like made my thing all weird. Oh no! Yeah, sometimes Twitch is weird about connections, but hi Jen. So today I'm probably gonna circle back to that scented cocoa one that someone sent me, but just like it would make me being like I was set up to be perfectly through this box in an even amount of time, because some of these and so therefore I was like, but it's got to continue to be perfectly even, because I'm like that sometimes. So what we're gonna do today, we actually do have another scented ink. We have Atramentis Cola, which has been sitting in my sample box for a very long time, and Diamine Macassar, which has been sitting there for even longer. Just like you can tell these are both Goulet samples. You can tell by just the formatting of the labels how old they are. And also the fact that this label is slightly more yellow. Yeah. So it's been a while. So this is what Goulet sample labels looked like 4 or 5 years ago? Probably. Anyway. So I'll put that back in. First we're going to do Cola. I didn't intentionally pick this string of inks from this color set. But I did. It just happened to work out that way. So where are we? We're in this territory. So yeah, we're in this sort of color family with Cassis Fair New Bake. We did Sailor Grenade a week or two ago. This is the one we're doing today, the Atramentis Cola, and then last week we did this Ferris Wheel Press one. So we're doing all three of these real close together. Unlike in the past when we've done strings like this where it's oh, there was a shit ton of purples, or oh, there was a shit ton of browns, when I definitely ordered a bunch of those at one time to try and find particular shades, so it made sense that I was doing things, that I had a bunch of the same color. Here, I got all these samples at very different times. It just so happens that this is where they were in my box arrangement. Because I've had this one forever, this one for only a couple years, and that one I only got 2 weeks ago. It just so happens that they're all being reviewed in that rough order. So yeah. This one I don't think it looks like cola. It's kind of too red to be a cola color to me, but it does smell like cola. It smells like a cola. The Atramentis scented inks are very accurate in their scents. Apparently, occasionally for a Pen Show After Dark round table thing, Mr. Van Ness, so Mike Van Ness, will do just have all the blind samples of the Atramentis scented inks and have you guess what the smell is, which is I think is hilarious. And they have weird ones like horse and grass, and it's fun. The guy was clearly just well, why not? I don't know why you would want an ink that smells like horse. I guess if you're a horse person. But yeah. Oh no, I'm seeing lots of errors with frame detect. Let me go look at everything on my end. See what the stream looks like. Where did the Twitch rearrange things all on this dashboard thing in the back end? There we are. No, it all looks good. So I don't know what's happening there. Okay. So where was I? There we are. Okay. So I'm gonna fill these. And with most Goulet samples, it's a bit dodgy because there's only 2 milliliters, which is more than enough for the actual reviewing part, but it makes actually filling 3 pens at once slightly difficult. Speaking of the Goulets, this is news that is relevant to people who have followed my review stuff. Sorry, I was reaching over to get stuff. So I don't know if you've seen or gone through, depending on how recently you followed my stuff. Like last winter, I did basically all the Jacques Herbon inks, which are like the fancy inks from Herbon. It's like their premium line. So at the time, you could not get them in the United States. It was, you had to order them like internationally from Milligram was the only way you could order them online. So they ended up being super expensive, like $50 a bottle when you included shipping, or like if you happen to be in France. However, it was announced today that Goulet has become the exclusive U.S. carrier of those inks, so the Jacques Herbon inks. They're still a bit pricey. They're $28 a bottle, and Goulet does not do any free shipping or anything, so I ran the numbers for myself today because I really want a bottle of Rouge d'Orient, and it would be about $5 shipping for one bottle, and it's probably going to be like $7 or $8 for 2 or more bottles. So just keep that in mind. So that's probably going to be about, and it was like $35 once I included tax and all that fun stuff. So it's a lot better than $50. It's still not cheap. So if they were like $10 cheaper total with like, or like if there was a possibility for free shipping, or like it was like $5 or $10 cheaper bottle, I would be getting more than one bottle. But for now, it's a little pricey. But know that they are now available in the U.S. for less than they were, and so you don't have to order internationally. The best deal is still if you were in France, or apparently there's a shop in Tokyo that has them too. That's still the best deal pricing wise, because that's only like 18-19 euro. But that's usually how it is for European inks, are usually cheaper in Europe. But just that, so you know, if you saw those reviews of mine and were like, holy crap, I want some of this ink, you can now get the bottles of it. Goulet is going to have samples. They don't have the samples quite yet because they have to make all of them. So give them a week or two to make the samples if you want to order samples from them. They are going to be 2 milliliter samples because it's Goulet. But that way you can actually get a hold of these inks and try them. My favorites... my favorite is the red, the Rouge d'Orient, but I've actually come to really like the dark blue, the Bleu de Minuit. I actually have both those inked up right now. But yeah, so now you can try them. I know a lot of people fell in love with a lot of different colors. Like, it wasn't like there was one standout favorite. There's a lot of there's just people really like these ink. The only snoozer seems to be the black, because it's the black ink. But these are good inks. They're a little bit pricier. They're comparable more to Sailor's new pricing, or like Mont Blanc's old pricing inks and stuff like that. So just however you want to handle that in terms of buying. I would definitely recommend getting samples, because from what I saw in the Goulet swabs are bad. They do not do the inks justice. So I would recommend, as I do for every ink, this isn't just a Goulet, this isn't just like a these inks thing. Every ink I recommend, even if it looks really good, get a sample of it first, unless there is no physical way to get a sample, because you never know. Some inks look really good online and you get them and you're like, ah. So because these aren't like limited edition or anything, I would recommend get some samples, see how you like them. And these are ink, I have found with these inks that they do, like, you have to actually use them in order to see how pretty they are. Like, it does, the vibrancy doesn't come across as well from these in pictures. I will say Encantadora on Instagram probably has some of the best swab cards to show them off. Her swab cards tend to be a little bit more saturated. You can always look at my stuff, of course. And then Mountain of Ink, Kelly over Mountain of Ink did some of them. She didn't do all of them. But so the only ones I know out there that did that have put reviews of all the inks out there are me and Encantadora. So, and as with most ink reviews, different people's swatches will match different people's handwritings and stuff. Look at a bunch of them. Anyway. Now for, I guess, not 6-month-old ink news. Okay. 2, 3, 8. Yeah, I went from talking a lot to being very quiet, but this is more typical how everything goes with these. I should angle the mic down to get the good scritch audio action going, and speak a little softer so I don't blow your ears if you turn up the volume a lot to get the scritch. We are doing in the past I've done model articles on scooters because I think the topic is hilarious, and we have a scooter article in the paper today. It's not very long. It's probably going to last like just one of these inks. We'll get to switch articles, but I'm still going to do it. Sorry, I'm changing where my mic is to have it more directional. There you go. Oh, now it's blocking the... There. So this one is really nice to write with. It's a nice lubricated ink. You can only smell the cola smell when filling it, and that's if the vial is close to your face. So if you like this color, but the fact of it being smelly bothers you, it'll only bother you. You'll only smell it while filling, and it smells exactly like cola. So it's only a temporary thing. It's a nice snapping action. I was like, as long as I've got this tagged for like fun noise stuff, I might as well do that. Because that pen does have a nice snap when you cap it. So I will say this goes down a very rich color and it's drying very washed out. I don't know if that's the cream paper, or if that's just what this ink is doing. Like I said, this is also an old ink sample of mine. And it has sat with sun exposure and stuff, so that could be causing this. Not like in the window, but like not in a box. I got these boxes after I got this sample. Where am I? Yeah, it is harder to tell here, but it's just like as you see it dry, it just goes from being a very rich, more vibrant color to just like zoom. That's a shame because it's very pretty when it goes down. I saw someone asking in the Pen Addict Slack the other day about Kikuyo paper. So if anyone wonders how Kikuyo paper does, reminder that what I do for one of these reviews are the regular Kikuyo campus lines. I love this paper. It's not for everyone. I personally like it. It's more first, but like paper's a personal thing. But if you want to see how it performs with at least fine pens and a variety of inks, you can go look at my website, whatever, look at the scans. You'll see how it looks. Yeah, that explains why the numbers dropped. Stream disconnection. Good times. I'm not seeing any problems on my end. I mean, I'm seeing the notifications, but on the Twitch side, I'm not seeing problems. Anyway. Twitch be weird sometimes. It's at least better about notifications than YouTube is. YouTube's like, notifications? What's that? Or notifications, even though you've signed up for notifications, we're going to algorithm your notifications. Because you didn't really want to know about that one person's video, right? Okay, cool. I'm glad it is bringing you back. Because I could see on my end that it did disconnect twice, but the fact that it brought back quickly is good. Yeah, the internet here in Atlanta is... I mean, okay, we're a major metropolitan area, so we have it better than a lot of places in the country. But, like... it's not... the holy greatest. It can barely keep up with streaming. Like I said, I know that's a lot better than other areas of the country. Even like close to here, you go a little bit out and you just like, I couldn't be able to stream if I lived like an hour or two outside the city. Depending on the direction. Just because rural internet is unfortunate in America. Okay, where was I in the article? Has exploded. Yeah. Okay, so this is hilarious. So the Beltline is a big, like, trail walking thing in Atlanta. It goes through all, like, the trendy parts and, like, the rich parts of Atlanta, etc. I personally, I think I've, like, accidentally ended up on the Beltline once or twice, but not realized it. Like, people talk about the Beltline all the time. I'm like, where? I know it's around here somewhere. What is it? I've lived here for 6 years. Still a mystery. Anyway. But so they've limited the e-scooter's speed to 8 miles per hour on a stretch of the Beltline, which is hilarious to me because, like, there are people that run faster than that. Bikes definitely go faster than that. It's like, are you limiting everything to that speed or just the scooters because you hate them? Also, if anyone has any questions for me, feel free to throw them up. I'm looking back and forth, despite the fact that I'm writing. I'm very good at, like, looking at multiple amounts of things at one time, and I'm looking up at the screen anyway to copy down the article. So I'll see your question. Needed a. What I also love about these scooter articles is that it's basically a bunch of, like, people yelling at clouds. Because I don't think there's any way to enforce these speed limit laws. So I will say that this ink looks a lot more vibrant on the white paper, so the weird fading I was seeing earlier was definitely a result of it being on cream paper. Okay, this makes much more sense. The speed limits are basically at night when people can't see, because none of these scooters are equipped with lights, and like during holidays when the Beltline is flooded. Well, flooded with people. This makes much more sense. Yeah, this is much prettier on a white paper. You can actually see it. I'm actually like now flipping. Okay, so it's basically a prettier version of that Ferris wheel press ink. Because that Ferris wheel press ink was so dry. It like, not a lot of paper came out on the page. So as a result, the color I thought turned out rather ugly. So this is basically a wetter, better performing, and cheaper version of the Ferris wheel press ink. The only downside is it smells like cola? So yeah, so if you really like that Ferris wheel press ink, get yourself some Atramentis Cola instead. The bottle's not as cool. I will admit that. But what you're paying for, because the Ferris wheel press inks are like $30-something, and these are like $12. So you're paying almost over double the price for cool packaging, yo. And also the Ferris wheel press inks I think have 80 milliliters and these have 35. Okay, so it's like you're paying almost double for double the amount of ink. Okay, fair. But also the ink doesn't perform as well. I don't know. It's my opinion on the matter. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, cola isn't necessarily a bad smell, but some people are really sensitive to scents. Like, they don't like scented things. And especially cola is a weird thing to, like, you open your ink and it smells like cola. I can understand there being a cognitive disconnect with that. Also, it's bad for the people. It doesn't jive with don't drink the ink. My ink smells like cola, but I'm not supposed to drink it. Like, no, don't drink it. Like, I don't even like cola. Like, I don't like colas. But, like, I wouldn't mind getting a bottle of this. Like, yeah, it smells like cola. I'm not, like, entirely offended by it, but I also do like smelly things, so. No, it just smells like, it smells exactly like cola. like I said, I don't drink cola, so I can't tell you what kind it smells like. I can't tell you if it smells like Coke, Pepsi, RC, generic like Kroger cola. Don't know. I can tell you it smells like cola. That's about all I got. All I got. I need to ask Michael if he still has some of those don't drink the ink stickers. Because I need one. I think he said he did. He also, the shirt came back on Cotton Bureau, so I need to buy one of those. Oh yeah, by the way, if you guys didn't know, there is Do Not Drink the Ink merch out there. There is, like I said, stuff from Michael J. So Michael J. on Instagram, Slack, etc. Did a bunch of stuff back when the BYOB podcast was the thing that became our unofficial slogan, was Don't Drink the Ink. And so he designed a shirt for us that's up on Cotton Bureau. And there were stickers that came with it, but I think he ordered those separately and they're just like sitting in his house. So I don't know what's going on with those. But there's also these Don't Drink the Ink blue skinks from Angela He, aka Inky Converters. So I don't know what her Etsy shop link is. It's like inkyconverters.etsy.com or something. It's Inky Converters in the Pen Addict Slack, on various Discords, etc. But she sells these along with a bunch of other cute stickers. Like, there's like a lamb and like a little, yes, I like her stuff. She is also the one responsible for some of this cute washi tape I have. So this one has, let's see, camera out of focus, but this is the washi tape with unicorns and rainbows holding a pen. That's also Angela. And then this was for the San Francisco show last year. It was various San Francisco icon, like animal mascots and the Golden Gate Bridge holding pens. These two, I think, are available through Nick Pang at pen shows. Nick acts as Angela's proxy at most of the pen shows. But yeah, it's like Inky Converters. Actually, let me look that up. So can I? Sorry, we're gonna do a little bit of weirdness here. So okay, I think this is it. Yes. Oh, I should make that bigger. So if you go to Inky Converters, honestly, I just googled Inky Converters Etsy, and you can see she has lots of cool stuff. Let me look this over so you guys can see it. Angela's a friend of mine. She's awesome. But she has all sorts of cool stuff like this Detective Pikachu Lammy for the blonde Pikachu, Pen Mule. There's a cat with an Akaya. She has Arachnoconid, a mouse. Yeah. The I Survived the Gummy Python. Yeah. It's all cool stuff. I like her stuff. So let me actually throw that URL in the chat so you guys have that. There you are. So now go forth and buy Angela's stuff. Angela's awesome. Go buy her stuff. Okay, so now we get to see how this one does on shitty paper. And I will say that some of these, she also has like keychains and washi tapes available, but those are on her Etsy shop. She sells those, at least right now, through Nick Pang at pen shows. I think she's working on getting like it available for like wider sale and stuff, but I don't know the details. Yeah, no, but she's awesome. Okay. Where was I in the article is the eternal question. Were announced Friday. Oh, so the police are actually enforcing the scooter laws now. Why am I writing dry? Oh, and then for any of you that are watching this later on YouTube, I will definitely put the sticker link down in the description below. Because everyone should have fun stickers. Okay. So yeah, there's a lot of like little feathering, not along with the long spiky feathering, but just everything looks very fuzzy. And yeah, that bleed through is not great. But this is on track for Diatramentis inks. I don't think I've had one Diatramentis ink that's been good on ship paper. In fact, I think most of them have been pretty bad. Like, I've laughed out loud at some of them at how bad they are on ship paper. So this is an argument if you want to spend the more money on the other one. The Ferris wheel press was really good on ship paper. So there's pros and cons. With Ferris wheel press, you get more ink for the money. So you probably, like, the price per milliliter is actually probably about even. So depending on how much ink you go through, like I personally prefer smaller bottles because I don't burn, because I like my fine nibs. I don't burn through that much ink. I mean, I have burned through bottles of ink. Like, I was only up until very recently was a student, so I was burning through ink. But like, I like lots of color variety, so therefore small bottles allow me to sample more. But so that's pro or con. The Diatramentis is a lot wetter, and I think looks better, so it behaves better. But it also is scented, and doesn't perform as well on ship paper. So pros and cons. Also, it doesn't have as neat packaging. Personally, this makes the Diatramentis the clear winner when you're comparing the Diatramentis and the Ferris wheel press in my book for my criteria, but different people have different priorities. Okay. So I'm going to empty this, and then after I empty this, I will go clean out the pens. I'll put the stream on BRB, and then we'll get back to the other one, which was a dark brown Diamine, if I remember, the Macassar. Yeah, I apologize. I realized, like, flipping through all the inks that I have for the last, like, couple weeks, that it's been all, like, this color and browns continuously, with, like, a break for Schaefer Peacock Blue and Bunga Box. Hopefully, what do we have next week? Next week, we have fun inks, so we're away from this, like, brown burgundy color family. We're going to, next week is Pelican Edelstein Aquamarine, which is like a teal blue thing. I've used that before. It's super dry, but you know, let's do it officially. Like, I've had it in this pen before. Actually, in both of these pens. It's no fun. But I have it, so I'll review it. And then a good one that I keep meaning to buy is Kobe number 19, Mingatanawa Lime. That's a good one. So let's put this over to the side. I'm going to go clean pens. I will be back shortly. Oh wait, wrong one. still got that Lamy cartridge in there because it's been a while since I've just had, like, I burned through, like, a pack of Lamy Copper Orange cartridges studying for a certification exam. And then I was almost with one cartridge, but then I haven't used that cartridge since. The exam was, like, 2 months ago. So, yeah, so that's just been sitting there. Where's the feed? Hey, Rowell. How goes it? Aqua? Aqua heard me get out, and so she says hi. She's in her cone of shame. I'm gonna put her in her cage now so she can eat food. She's always very good at, oh, I'm not gonna, like, be intrusive, like, while you're on the BRB window and, like, don't have to interrupt anything. It's like, no, I'm gonna do this just after you sat down and switched it. Because that's what pets do. I'm sure any of you with pets that are, like, that can actually, like, go up and, like, bother you somehow. So I'm not talking like fish can't, like, catastrophic disasters can happen with fish. I know. But they don't, like, go up to you and are like, hi, you must attention me now. The way that, like, birds or cats or dogs or anything that's, like, out of a cage can. Okay. So we've got there. So the next one is Diamine Macassar. I think I got this one in, like, a random sample pack. Because I definitely didn't order this one explicitly. I definitely remember ordering the Atramentis Cola explicitly. I don't remember why. I think I just liked the color. Macassar was in a random sample pack. And a long time ago, based on the fading on the label and the formatting of the label. Let me say it's in here somewhere. There it is. So it's like a good old brown. I have it in here next to Shitty Sepia, Noodler's Walnut, Private Reserve Chocolat. Okay. Clearly I haven't touched it. It's actually interesting. Seeing this allows me to see, hey, older Goulet samples were more full than the newer ones. It's also Diamine, and Diamine's inks are cheap, so they can afford to be a little bit more lenient on the samples. I might have also inked up the Atramentis Cola at one point. I don't remember if I ever did. But it's entirely possible I inked it up for, like, an Inktober or, like, a 30 inks 30 days thing. I don't remember doing that. But it could happen. It could happen a long time ago. Cool. I'm actually wondering now, just because Goulet samples, I wonder, because I'm assuming they're going to do a sample pack of all of the Jacques Arbon inks, if it was just as cheap to do it via the group buy, which included shipping from France, as it did, as it would be ordering the samples from Goulet. Because mine was all, when I did that group buy, it was all, like, direct, like, this is the cost of the ink, this is the cost of shipping, this is the cost of vials. I didn't make any money off of it, obviously. Because I'm like, what I made off of it was the fact that I personally wanted those inks. So there was a vehicle for me to get them. Everyone else helped pay for it to come over. that was the payment for me, versus the Goulet's obviously have to make money off of this. They're a business. But I don't know. I know the samples, they had priced them at $2.25 each. And there's 10 inks, so like probably $25 with shipping, which is around about what I charged. So yeah. Okay. Genuinely have no idea how this ink is going to turn out. I mean, I can see from the swab, but it's like, it's like an ink. I'm like, how do I have this in my collection? Who knows? Where was I in this fun Scooters article? So this is fine. It's not striking me as particularly wet, but it's not dry. It's just fine. It's middle of the road, which is pretty standard for Diamine inks. Diamine inks are basic. They're cheap. They're good flow. They work well. Lots of colors. Just in general, like Diamine. They're good workhorse. Ha! That answers my question from earlier. The safety measures do not apply to bikes. People just hate electric scooters so much. So this is one of those that's dark, so dark it looks black in wet pens. Like it leans, it's not as warm. It's more of a straight up brown, a little cooler brown. And so yeah, it looks very black, especially on the cream paper. And I was chirping, I'm gonna go fetch her. Say hi to the camera again, Akiwa. Say hi. Say hi. What? Oh, she wants scritches. Okay, is it back to nap? There we are. She doesn't sleep as well in the cone of shame because it's clearly obnoxious around her neck. And so she naps a lot more when she's in the cone of shame because it's not as good sleep. So she needs more of it. Okay. This is one of those that while you can see more, like a lot of browns I find look much better on cream paper than they do on white paper, and this is no exception. I much prefer how this looks on the cream paper, unlike this one where I prefer it looks on white paper. This is why I'm not averse to cream paper. I actually like how a lot of inks, like a lot of the warmer inks, look on cream paper. Okay, so again, you can tell it's brown. So I think it looks better on the Tomoe River, but you can tell it's brown more on this paper. The other paper made it look a lot darker, but I think it made the brown a lot richer. So, depends on your needs. Where's the rodeo pad? There's the rodeo pad. Okay. Yeah, I prefer it on the cream paper. Even though you can't tell it's brown as much on the cream paper, it still looks better to me on the cream paper. I gotta say, this article is lasting a lot longer than I thought it would. Oh no! I forgot to say what kind of pen it was. I was wondering, I was like, I don't normally do 4 lines. Now little arrows are in order to clarify my mistakes. Yeah, I'm actually gonna have enough to finish this article. Did not think that was gonna happen. Or have enough to finish my reviews, I should say. Yeah, I have a whole half a sentence left in the article to spare. Thought I wasn't gonna have enough for 2, but I had just enough, just the right amount. And oh yeah, that's actually more standard performance. But yeah, decent performance on this end, especially in the dry and regular pens. The wet pens, yeah, but clearly I've seen worse, even just like an hour ago. The Atramentis is not good for shit paper. Okay, let me empty these out. I'm going to empty those out. I'm going to clean them. And now, well, yeah, thank you for joining me. Like I said, next week we've got a couple. We've got an Edelstein next week and a Kobe ink. I think the Edelstein is one that's no longer available, but like clearly that hasn't stopped me before. Last week I did a vintage ink, so it's fine. And especially with these Pelican Edelstein ones, those are more recent limited editions. And I don't think any of them were particularly like hotcakes, like Dark Lilac or something. So you can probably still find them wandering around, like eBay